Hi guys, it's the hot seat with Naya on Fire, and today we have a lovely guest. I remember her from when I first started playing rugby. The main thing I remember about her is she was fast as hell, faster than I was, which I hadn't really come up against that in college. So I was pretty surprised, and it was kind of a reality shock for me coming up to the professional level to see somebody that was younger than me be so much faster than me. Because that was kind of my edge coming in. So that was a reality check for me. She was on the scene and then she disappeared for a little bit. Um, I'm not sure exactly what she was doing. For the most part, I knew she was traveling the world playing rugby in different areas. I learned a lot about her when she returned, about where she's played rugby, even coming out of high school, which in high school I wasn't even playing rugby. So it was cool to see a black rugby player traveling the world at such a young age and doing so well at a sport that I didn't know much about until my college years. But now she's on the scene again. We've been training together this past season, getting ready for the Olympics. And with that being postponed, we're going into a new season with new goals and the same big end goal. So I'm just curious to see how she interprets this new season with the new opportunities that are presented with the Olympics being pushed back. But can I get an applause for Nia Toliver? I thought you were gonna wear one of my shirts, but I just remembered that you ain't got it yet. No worries, it's getting processed today, and they'll be shipped to you by the end of the week. Okay, but so Nia, say hi, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Nia Toliver. I'm 22. I disappeared and now I'm back, basically.
You the goat. Okay, Nia. So the first thing that we start with on the hot seat, I'm not sure if you've watched any of the videos before to try to get a sneak peek into what you would be enduring. But the first thing we're going to start off with is five things people need to know about you. So what are five things that if they could only know five would be very important for them to know about Nia Tolliver?
mm, Whew. Yeah, that's actually. I expected this, but I had kind of some answers planned out. But now I'm like, maybe I should. Let me see. I have a dog. Uh, I wanna. I don't only wanna like play rugby my whole life. I guess. Um, yeah. Oh, my
That's
girlfriend is
two.
Japanese.
Okay.
I'm black.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of makes me me. I'm pretty nonchalant. Um, oh man, can I go with four? I don't even-
No.
What's the
Where are
fifth
you
one?
from?
Um, Despite being kind of fast, I have shitty endurance. Bam. So no
Don't
surprise
we all? Don't we all? That's a work in progress, right?
right?
Okay, so that's five things to know about Nia. Uh, One thing I think you should have included in that is where are you from?
Oh, okay, yeah. Los Angeles, West Coast, baby, South Central. You know where we at. Holla back.
Ghetto. Okay. So that was five things to know about Nia. Now we're going to go into our base questions. So the first question I have for you is I talked a little bit in the intro about how you went to some cool places while you were playing rugby in high school. So can you give some detail into what your rugby experience was like in high school?
Definitely because I was younger and the competition wasn't as high, it was a lot more fun. Like I guess when I travel, like every year, basically my coach would take the rugby team, 10 girls and 10 boys, to a different country. So my first place was China. Then it was England and France. I went to New Zealand by myself, and after that we went to Japan, and then we finished it off in Brazil, like for the same year you guys would, for the Olympic year. So it was pretty cool. My favorite place personally at that time was Japan, and I was lucky enough to get a contract in Japan playing. So that's where I disappeared to basically for the past 2 years. I was in Japan playing, and I had a great time. I didn't play rugby honestly. I played rugby about 35% of the time I was there, so I had a lot of chance to like immerse myself in the culture, of course, I just do other things. I took on like jujitsu and yoga and CrossFit. I just kind of had a good time. No, I didn't learn any Japanese. Not fluent. I know, kind of hard, and I didn't really maximize my time as far as like I guess making enough of an effort because my girlfriend just learned English anyway. It worked out because we're in America. Okay, so it was actually a good thing, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So what not college, what high school did you go to?
View Park Preparatory High School.
And was that like a big rugby school?
No, it was actually View Park is a charter school. It's relatively small, uh, but the rugby program was it included all the schools that's like under the ISEF system. But in the end, there only ended up being one ISEF high school because all the other ones closed down. So, I mean, in the area it was a big rugby high school in the area because no other school in our area offered rugby. So
Yeah. And how, when I think about all the traveling, like, did you have to pay for that? If not, how did your school afford that? Like, especially
so
like a rugby school in LA, like that doesn't sound like a common thing.
definitely, it was a lot of fundraising. I mean, personally, when we took the high school trips, they gave us raffle tickets to sell. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't sell very many because it's really hard for me to sell myself to people. Like it just kind
Yeah.
of it's really hard for me to do that. So I never saw all the raffle tickets, but luckily our coach is really good at selling stuff. Like he's getting your face and basically demand the money. So we ended up like it's all like funded. It's all been like fundraised basically. We didn't get any help from the school either. Like all of our money literally was made through our coach, like going out and like talking to people and like we make movies as well. So like I think the documentaries that we made also helped like for us like to gain support. So that
Hmm.
was like a plus. But yeah, it was all fundraised money. And like some of the trips I took by myself were like paid for like by the contract. Like Japan, they paid for that. When I went to New Zealand, that was a scholarship. So that was all
Hmm.
like already paid for.
That's awesome. Because I didn't know anything about rugby until college, but you had already basically traveled the world before you were 18 years old.
Yeah, I'm lucky in that regard because I don't know what I'd be doing if I wasn't playing rugby, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay, so you kind of touched on this next question. So you played in Japan for a while. What is the what is the difference between rugby in Japan and rugby right now in the US?
Okay, so I've only played like after high school rugby in America like once, and that was like for the club sevens. I think was that 26? I think it was in 2016. I think so. I don't remember too much about the rugby I played, but I didn't play in college either because like I went to school for a semester, but I was like injured. I tore my ACL in Barbados when I was playing with uh, the Sirens or whatever. So I can't really speak on like I guess. I did. So
Okay.
like I can't the level of play. I mean, in Japan is basically ran or the competition that I played in was basically ran by the Australians and the Kiwis. Like they sent
Mhm.
all their girls over there basically to like I guess develop and you get paid over there pretty well, right? So
Mhm.
I mean the Japanese competition like along with the girls they sent over there from the foreigners, it did kind of make the level pretty high. Like
Yeah.
it was difficult. My team wasn't that great. You know what I mean? So like we kind of struggled a lot. I think we probably placed ninth the first year, or and then like maybe eighth the second year. Like just because it's just
Out of how
hard.
many teams?
Huh?
Out of how many teams?
Uh, 12 teams. 12. Yeah, 12 teams. 12 teams.
Okay.
Yeah. So and if you get, actually, no, I think it's more than 12 teams. Maybe like 14 teams. And if you're in the if you're like 13th or 14th, they kick you out of the competition and you have to like compete to get back into it. So we were like close to getting kicked out. Like I think the
Yeah, it's
first,
kind of like a series here,
yeah.
the
So
national series. So, as a U.S. player, would you recommend that if any of the U.S. players had an opportunity, that it's important to go play over in another country?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you have a lot of fun. You get paid for doing half the work. Like, you get paid for doing half the work. Man. Like, they just appreciate you being there. So you kind of get
Yeah.
treated like you're more important to them.
Hmm.
So definitely, if you want to like kind of take it easy and have a good time, I'd recommend definitely.
I love the honesty. I love the honesty. Okay,
So
next question. Last question for the base questions. So, with the Olympics being postponed, I'm not sure what your goals were last season going into the 2020 Olympics, but with the Olympics being now 2021, do you have any new goals with kind of, trying to make it this year? I know you were trying to make it last year, but it may have been a little harder with
I
injuries and trying to get back into the groove.
definitely coming in if it was this year, I wouldn't have had a chance, right?
Hmm.
Because you already had the team ready. My shoulder was kind of busted up and,
Yeah.
out of shape. So it was like they already knew that. They kind of were telling me I should get surgery and stuff. But now that it's next year, definitely it's to my advantage because now I can compete. I have had time to like get in
Yeah.
shape. But yeah, I'm gonna go hard. I just hope it pays off in the end. I get to make it there because I feel like I've been shooting for the Olympics like since I was like 2016. Honestly, to me was more feasible than 2020. But
Yeah.
now I have a chance again. It's like I gotta give it all I have. So
Nice. Okay, that was the base questions. Now we're going into the last segment of the interview, and it's called the Speedster Round. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and you answer them as fast as you can. Okie dokie.
okay.
Okay, first question. What is your favorite smoothie ingredient?
Turmeric, ginger, um, smoothies, blueberries. I don't really make smoothies that much. Spinach. Yeah.
Nice. Spinach, blueberries, turmeric, and ginger. That sounds good. Okay, next question. What is one of your guilty pleasures?
Oof, eating donuts at night by myself.
What kind
Yeah.
of donut?
There's this store brand donuts called Intimates, like a
The
little blue
little
and
white
white
ones?
box. No, no,
Yeah.
no. They're like chocolate, but they're like in the white
Oh,
box. Yeah. Yeah.
okay. I
You
think
like
I
fake
used to eat
donuts.
those, but I had the powder ones.
Mhm.
Okay, next question. What's your fastest 40 time?
Uh, my fastest one was like, what was that? I forgot what we ran at. It was like
I
either.
feel like I remember like in maybe when we first was like met each other, I think you ran like a 5:29 or something.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, yeah, like a
Yeah.
five. We'll go with that one.
Did you get slower or faster?
I like I said, I can't actually remember what the 40 time was. I was faster than Jazz though, just so you guys know.
Okay. Next question. Would you rather lose your vision or your hearing?
Hearing.
Okay. And last question. What teammate do you think will be the best mentor for you this year?
Who it's a mix between. If I could like
Combine.
if I could combine like maybe you and Chris and a little bit of cheddar. Have a good mix right there.
That would be a good little combo. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Nia. That's the end of the show. It's a wrap. Nia, if you can tell people where to follow you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media platforms you have. If you could say your names for that, I'll put them at the bottom here.
Yeah, just Nia Toliver is my Instagram. That's really all I have.
Spell it for them, please.
Huh?
Spell it for them.
Oh, NIATOLIVR. There you go.
Thank you. Y'all
Thanks,
make sure
Naya.
y'all follow her. No problem, Nia. Thank you for being on the show. Y'all tune in. Nia, make sure you share so people can learn a lot more about you since hopefully you'll be booming up this year during the season and hopefully getting closer to your Olympic dream. But peace out. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.